The first sound I heard wasn't the door. It was the low growl. From the foot of the bed, Blade had lifted his head, ears pointed toward the front of the cabin. Just behind him, Shadow stood up next, silent, watching. And when two fully trained Belgian Malinois K-9s go on alert at 3 a.m., you don't question it. You move. I slid out of bed and wrapped my hand around the flashlight next to my Glock. My wife, Jess, ex-military and twice as alert as I am in these moments, was already throwing on sweats and grabbing the radio. We'd been through drills. We knew the routine. What we didn't expect was the kick. Thud. Our front door shook. Then again. Thud. Jess looked at me. "She's back," she said grimly. She was Karen Durrell, head of the Crystal Pines HOA, unofficial queen of control and the self-appointed keeper of community compliance. We'd bought the cabin 6 months ago. Private land, no HOA involvement. The listing made it crystal clear. But the moment Karen saw us move in, she assumed we were squatters. Why? Because the last owners were quiet retirees, and we were not. 2 ex-service members, 2 K-9s, and an acre of fenced-in land surrounded by nothing but pine trees and a gravel road. Karen hated that. She hated it more when she learned we had zero legal obligation to follow her HOA rules. She tried to fine us for a green mailbox, claimed we violated noise protocol for using a chainsaw at 2 p.m. on a Saturday, complained that our dogs weren't certified for the neighborhood. We ignored her. She escalated. Trespassed once to photograph our property, claimed she had a master key that worked for the whole development, even told neighbors we were domestic threats. But this was the first time she brought her delusion to our doorstep. Literally. Jess unlocked the gun safe and tossed me my sidearm. "Non-lethal unless she draws," she whispered. The dogs were already posted, one at the front window, one crouched low by the door. I tapped the camera feed on my phone. There she was, Karen. Bathrobe, messy bun, holding a key in one hand, cell phone in the other, pacing on our porch like a wolf denied entry to its den. Then she said it, clear as day, right into the ring cam. "You will comply. I have the authority. Open this damn door or I will get law enforcement and declare this property abandoned." Then she tried the key again. It didn't work, of course, because there was no such thing as a master key for private property in Crystal Pines, unless you made one yourself. And when the key failed, she snapped. Crack! She kicked the door again hard enough to jolt the frame. That was it. I opened the door. Blade lunged forward, stopped only by my hand gesture. Shadow flanked me on the other side, her teeth bared but silent. Karen stumbled backward like she'd seen ghosts. Her voice pitched up. "You're threatening me with dogs? This is harassment. These animals are illegal. I have every right to enter and inspect this home." "No, you don't. You're trespassing. You just tried to break in. This is being recorded." She screamed, "I'm the HOA president!" Jess stepped out behind me, radio in hand. "And I'm calling the sheriff. You've got less than 30 seconds to get off our property before you're arrested." Karen raised her phone like a shield. "I've already called 911. I told them dangerous squatters have taken over a residence in Crystal Pines. You're impersonating homeowners. That's a federal offense." I almost laughed, because what she didn't know, and what I had been waiting to use, was that Jess wasn't just my wife. She was also a federal DHS investigator currently on leave. And every single one of her delusions was about to collide with that reality. Sheriff's deputies arrived in 9 minutes. Karen immediately ran toward them, tears streaming, pointing wildly at us, the dogs, the cabin. "Arrest them! They're criminals! They threatened me! Those dogs are trained to kill! They tried to release them!" But the deputies didn't cuff us. They asked us for ID. Jess calmly handed them both her driver's license and her Department of Homeland Security badge. Their entire tone changed. Karen stopped mid-rant, her face blanching as the deputy read the badge aloud. "You're DHS?" he asked Jess, eyebrows raised. "Yes, and this property is mine, paid in full, no HOA clause, all on record." Karen stuttered. "They lied! They forged documents! That badge is fake!" That's when the deputy asked her to place her hands on the hood of his car. "For what? I'm the victim!" "You attempted unlawful entry. At 3 a.m., you kicked their door, you're on camera. That's felony trespassing, possibly attempted breaking and entering." She spun to me. "You set me up!" I just smiled. "I let you set yourself up. You picked the time, the place, and the door." Karen was arrested that night. The footage made it to the local news, not because we leaked it, but because Karen had made so many enemies in the HOA that someone in the group shared the story anonymously. It turned out Karen had lied about a lot more than just having a master key. She had accessed HOA funds to build enforcement tools, installed hidden cameras on property she didn't own, harassed multiple veterans and elderly neighbors, filed over 130 false complaints in the last 12 months. It was a house of cards, and it collapsed fast. She was removed from the HOA presidency within the week, charged with criminal trespass, misuse of HOA authority, and unlawful surveillance. As for the master key, it was just a copied lock from her own front door, filed down until it could barely jam into someone else's. She thought it made her powerful. Instead, it got her banned from even walking past our street. The HOA voted to dissolve itself 3 months later. In its place, the neighborhood formed a volunteer community watch, one that respected property rights, veteran homeowners, and, more importantly, dogs. Blade and Shadow became honorary mascots. We even hosted the first neighborhood gathering ourselves, with the door wide open and the barbecue blazing. No clipboards, no fines, no delusions of authority. Just people. And peace. So when someone knocks at 3 a.m. now, we know it's not Karen. Because the last time she tried that, she met the teeth of justice, and my K-9s were ready.